What if this isn't the year to push harder, but the year to finally listen to what no longer fits? Stay tuned for why choosing alignment over urgency can become your most powerful transformation yet. Welcome back to the Resilient MD, the podcast and YouTube channel where we have honest conversations about medicine, burnout, resilience, and how to care for others without losing ourselves in the process. I'm Dr. Anna McDowell, a certified life coach and allergist. Today's episode is about this year being the year of transformation and what it means to evolve with intention, gentleness, and self trust rather than urgency or force. I've been reflecting deeply on what this year represents for me, and I've realized something very important. This is not a year of rebuilding, it's not a year of fixing, and it's definitely not a year of pushing harder. This is a year of conscious transformation. Not the kind that demands urgency or reinvention overnight, but the kind that happens quietly, honestly, and consciously. The kind where you begin to notice what no longer fits, and instead of ignoring it, you listen. For many of us, especially women physicians, transformation doesn't come because there's something that is wrong on paper. It really comes because there's something that feels off in our own bodies, our energy, our pace, our inner lives. And often we've been too busy, too responsible, too committed to everyone else to pause long enough to hear it. This year, I am choosing to listen. Remember my word of the year being butterfly? That word has stayed with me, not as a metaphor I admire from a distance, but as something I'm actively living. Some years ago, when we were in Belize, we visited a butterfly sanctuary. We didn't just see butterflies fluttering around, we saw the entire process. The larvae, the cocoons, the long, quiet stage of transformation that happened before anything beautiful ever takes flight. What struck me most was watching the larvae, how they engorged themselves slowly and intentionally, preparing for what was coming next. They weren't rushing, they weren't skipping any steps. They were gathering whatever they needed for a transformation that couldn't be forced. Standing there, it dawned on me how much I, and I'm sure so many of us, take this process for granted. Because real change doesn't happen overnight, it takes time. It takes preparation and it takes intention. We live in a world that wants everything immediately: answers, clarity, success, certainty. But life doesn't work that way. Growth doesn't work that way. And transformation certainly doesn't work that way. The butterfly reminded me that becoming is not an event, it is a process. And honoring that process is not weakness, it's wisdom. Butterfly represents transformation that is natural, intentional, and earned through time, not rushed, not forced, and not driven by urgency. It's about becoming, not performing. And that is exactly how I want to live this year and how I want to lead. As I reflected on what all this represents for me, I realized that my mission in 2026 is to live and lead through this conscious transformation, choosing ease over urgency, alignment over obligation, and beauty over burnout. As I step fully into this new chapter beyond full time clinical medicine, I'm committing to honoring my own becoming with patience, clarity, and self trust. That means no rushing the process, no minimizing grief, no forcing certainty before it's ready. And just as importantly, through my voice, my presence, and my work, I'm committed to helping women, especially female physicians, but any women, develop awareness of what no longer fits for them. Because transformation almost always starts there. Not with a plan, not with a dramatic exit, but with a quiet realization something here is no longer aligned with who I am becoming. One of the biggest mistakes we make when we feel misaligned is trying to quote unquote fix it too quickly. We jump into action. We look for the next role, the next certification, the next strategy. We try to solve discomfort instead of understanding it. But transformation doesn't begin with action, it begins with awareness. Awareness of the thoughts that have been quietly weighing on you, awareness of the obligations you've outgrown, awareness of the roles you are performing instead of inhabiting. This is the work I do with my coaching clients, not pushing them toward change, but helping them name what has been heavy, sometimes for years. Because once something is named, it no longer controls you from the shadows. And I want to say something that goes against everything medicine taught us. Change does not have to be painful to be powerful. So many women physicians believe that growth must come through sacrifice, exhaustion, or crisis. That unless we're burning down or breaking apart, we're not allowed to evolve. But transformation can be gentle, it can be steady, it can be kind. Finding your wings is not about force, it's about permission. Permission to pause, permission to choose differently, permission to let go of what no longer fits without self betrayal or guilt. This year, I'm modeling that for myself and inviting you to consider it for your own life. If you're a mid career woman physician who feels frustrated at work, emotionally drained, or quietly burned out, this is for you. Not because you're failing, but because you've been carrying too much for too long. The Resilient MD is a 6-week one-on-one coaching program created to help women physicians reclaim their time, energy, and sense of agency. We focus on the thoughts driving your stress, the actions that keep you stuck, and the mindset shifts that create meaningful, lasting changes. As 2026 begins, you don't need a resolution rooted in guilt or pressure. You deserve one rooted in care. This is not about forcing transformation, it's about easing into it with guidance, structure, and compassion. If you're ready to make this year count in a way that actually feels supportive, you can begin simply by signing up for the Resilient MD. You don't have to do this alone anymore. As many of you know, my professional role has evolved too. I'm still a board certified allergist, but my primary work now is as a certified life coach for women physicians. After years in clinical medicine, I recognized what so many mid career physicians quietly experience: professional success on paper paired with exhaustion, frustration, and a growing sense of misalignment. Through the Resilient MD, my work is to help women physicians slow down, gain clarity, and reconnect with the version of themselves they've been too busy to hear. I don't push, I don't hustle, I don't pressure, I guide. I create space for honest reflection and meaningful change without guilt, without urgency, and without the belief that resilience means pushing harder. Because resilience isn't about endurance, it's about choosing differently. Now, in my interactions with women of different professions and walks of life, I'm seeing that suffering and burnout is not just limited to healthcare. Many people started to ask me why I don't help other women. I wanted to make it clear for everyone that even though I focus on women physicians, this work can help all women. So, here is my invitation to all of you for this year of transformation. Instead of asking, "What should I do next?" try asking, "What no longer fits?" Instead of pushing for clarity, allow it to emerge. Instead of forcing change, practice permission. Instead of measuring success by output, measure it by alignment. Transformation doesn't require you to abandon who you are. It asks you to honor who you are becoming. As I close today, I want to come back to that word, butterfly, because transformation isn't loud, it isn't rushed, and it isn't something we muscle our way into. A butterfly doesn't fight its way forward. It doesn't prove its worth. It doesn't apologize for changing. It allows itself to become. And that's what I hope for you this year, that you allow yourself the time and space to notice what's no longer fitting, that you trust the quiet inner knowing that's been trying to get your attention, and that you give yourself permission to evolve gently, honestly, and without self betrayal. Transformation doesn't mean leaving everything behind. It means carrying forward what's true in a lighter, more aligned way. So, if this feels like a year of shedding, softening, of becoming something new, you're not behind, you're not failing, you are in the process. This is the year of wings. This year, I choose ease over urgency, alignment over obligation, beauty over burnout. I choose to be a guide, not a push, to create spaces where transformation feels safe, sustainable, and deeply human. If these resonates with you, subscribe to the podcast and YouTube channel and stay here with me. This is the work we'll continue doing together, one intentional decision at a time. And if you're serious about saving time, think about 10 hours a week maybe. Don't leave without downloading the time management guide that walks you through how to make it happen. Grab it now at annamcdowell.com/guide or in the link below. If you're enjoying this podcast, please take a moment to rate it 5 stars on Apple Podcasts or your favorite platform and hit the like button on YouTube. Your support really helps this message reach more amazing women like you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for trusting this space. And thank you for walking the season of transformation with me. I'm Dr. Anna McDowell, and this is The Resilient MD. I'll see you next week.